Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Holmes and welcome to my channel. I wanted to do a video on my Dave Ramsey story. My Dave Ramsey story has been a long journey and it has been full of lots of obstacles and ups and downs. So I thought if I could share my story, maybe somebody else could be helped from it or motivated or just kind of introduced to it. I first became introduced to Dave Ramsey about 5 years ago when I was just at a moment or a breaking point. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know about our finances. I felt helpless. So I just Googled how to do a spreadsheet or how to do a budget, and Dave Ramsey popped up. I just did some searching and came across some YouTube videos of actually other YouTubers that follow Dave Ramsey, and that was more where I started to see their input and became interested. And then I got onto the Dave Ramsey page and I was hooked. My husband and I were not married at the time, but we had combined finances for several years. We had been together for about 5 years at that point, and we had always really just combined finances. We just weren't doing it the right way. So needless to say, I was the one doing the budget, and I was getting fed up because I just felt like we didn't have any money. I felt like we made money, but we really didn't have any money at the end of the day. So I just tried to do a spreadsheet, and I did. I followed the Dave Ramsey method, and I read about what he was doing, but I just did a budget and put it on paper, and I sort of did it, sort of didn't, and I was doing this by myself, and this is not what I recommend at all. This is not the Dave Ramsey way. So I tried to get my husband on board. I read the Total Money Makeover. I was hooked, and I was really trying to do a budget, but I really didn't understand what budgeting was. Fast forward a little while, I'm still trying to get my husband on board. We're still sort of doing a budget, but not really. And this was about 2 years worth of doing Dave-ish and not really doing the Dave way. And I don't know really what happened. I know we were going to get married, and that was starting to change things. So about a year before we got married, we actually really started Dave Ramsey, and now we have a wedding to pay for. So not really the best thought, thinking through all of it wasn't really the best way to start, but we still wanted to get married. So we cash flowed our wedding, still paying off our debt, starting our debt, and we tried for so long to do it the way that we had read from his ways of doing things, but never really got anywhere. So a friend of mine gave me the Dave Ramsey DVDs and said, try this, start this. That really pushed us. That made us start. And we got through about 3 DVDs, and we started a budget, and we really did start tackling our debt. I listed all of our debt from smallest to highest, and we kind of had to face the truth. And that was the moment I think that we really started to get on board, or at least I did. There's more to that later. My husband was willing. He was my boyfriend at the time, but he was willing to at least do the budget and follow the budget. Once I kind of got into his head that I wasn't taking his money to do with what I wanted and pay all the bills and put it all away and never give him anything, once he got the idea through his head that he could still have a say in our budget, then he kind of eased up and realized that the budget was worth it. So we started really Dave Ramsey I want to call it about 3 years ago. We got married, and when we did, we really started to tackle our debt. And we have been on the journey for 3 years really hard. Now, we had, prior, the 2 years before we got married, paid off a few small debts because we were doing Dave-ish, but we also cash flowed our wedding, which kind of stalled our baby step 2. So we knew we wanted to be Dave Ramsey full force, but we also knew we wanted to get married. And with the little income that we had, we cash flowed the wedding, which took about a year to save and pay for. And we got married in 2016. And the day after we got married, we were gung-ho, full force Dave Ramsey, and it has been a long journey. We have spent 3 years paying off bills. Our debt total as of right now was $120,000. Believe if I add a couple little things in that I forgot about, it'd be about $123,000. That sounded so high. That sounded just impossible to tackle. And here I am 3 years later, and we are down to our last $6,000. And I'm just astonished. I just can't even believe it. We have come so far, and we have done it on such low income, and we have pushed and pushed, and we have fought. Believe me, there has been so many fights, and there has been so many issues, but I'm telling you, anyone that is interested in this, please do it. Please look into it. If you are not on a budget, it has been something that has changed my life. It has been something that has changed my marriage. It has been something that's changed my future. And I'm only in baby step 2, and I'm not finished yet, but I know that I have a future ahead of me. So I just wanted to tell everybody a little bit about our story. I am happy to go into more detail if anybody's interested. I'm happy to share my budget if anybody's interested. It has been a long journey, and to look back 5-6 years ago and think, I'll be there one day, and kind of not believe it, to really be sitting here today, this is crazy. This week I will pay off my student loans completely, and I will have one car loan left. And I'm at that finish line where I just want to be done with paying off debt. But it has been a really hard journey. But I do believe anybody that wants to do this can do this. It is just making yourself accountable and doing a budget. But please, please, please comment below, ask any questions. I am an open book. I love talking about this stuff, which is why I'm doing the YouTube channel. I found so much just help and relief and motivation in watching all of my favorite YouTubers who did this and who are on this journey, and they have just provided me so much motivation and intensity that I think that I should be doing this to help other people. I wanted to share my story so that others who are interested or others who want to do this have somebody to look to, because believe me, every single day, every single week, I was looking for somebody on YouTube to just motivate me, keep me going, push me, just hear their story, kind of find somebody to relate to, be excited. The Debt-Free Screams excited me so much. So I am excited to share more. Please comment below. Thank you guys.